Hi everyone, this is Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. The computers are struggling today. This video didn't want to turn on, and I already tried my new computer, and for some reason the camera wasn't going up. So I went back to my regular system. I had to get this out to you. More unbelievable messages coming up. It is 3/14/2019. It is not only Pi today, but it's also my daughter's birthday. So really positive energy for me today. But there's some tie-in to Pi to the message as well, and you have to stay tuned and listen to this. There's like some important information that came through, and it just amazes me like how it comes through. Like through one card I was getting like this whole process of how the world works and all that kind of thing. So stay tuned if you can. It is March 14th, like I said. 14 is the Temperance card. It's that of the angels. And the day adds up to 29 today, which is the Three of Wands, which is all about staying present in your present moment and balanced at 0 point. I awoke sleepy at 7:10 and then again at 7:17 today. The read was done at 8:14 this morning. And the major arcana were Reason, Alchemy, Ascension, and Star, and the card after the read was the Wheel. In the traditional deck, Reason is the Emperor, Alchemy is Temperance, Ascension is the World, and Star is the Star, and then Wheel, the Great Wheel is the Wheel. There were 3 swords. This is for Divine Masculine. 3 swords, 1 wand, and 3 cups. There were no pentacles in the masculine read today, and the only court card was the King of Cups. The numbers in the coding had to do with domestic harmony and karmic completion, which that came up. Karmic completion has come up a couple times this week. And the numbers and codes had to do with 77, 99, the sequence 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so the second half of the cycle and the endings, as well as 75, 89, 69, and 233 were coming up, as well as 7, 89, and 69, and then that reduced to 96 and 69, which are a reflection of each other, and add up to 138. And 165 came up as well, but the 96 and then 69 reflection was important here. 77 is the 9 of Pentacles, and then 99 and 79 came up as well, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And of course 99 is all about endings and compassion, and it adds up to 18, which is the moon. And then 313 also came up. Okay, which 3, if you break it down, 3 and 13 is the Empress and the transformation or transition or death card. I was getting kind of that energy last night as well. Number 12 also is the culmination of the cycle and wisdom, and the coding all about domestic harmony and karmic completion was about the divine feminine within the divine masculine. There's a fever there for the masculine, because this is the masculine read, okay? He's got fever of the twin connection as a strong hermit and a new life of thoughts to toggle, okay, regarding the karmic completion and now domestic harmony, which is getting his home in order, which is his heart, right, his body. So divine feminine's heart is cradled by self, so it's masculine connecting with his own divine feminine, but also through the divine feminine, and feeling the divine feminine's heart is cradled by self, that quiet strength, that love of toggling or hermiting thoughts, that puzzle, right, your downloads, and interpreting them, toggling the purges in order to find that domestic harmony. So the masculine's getting it. And as I started the read and started to look up the codes to see if there's anything more to come up, the heading came up online of reputed head of Gambino crime family shot dead at 53 in Staten Island. And then from Gambino, I'd showed you Don Quixote, a painting of Don Quixote, and it was, the artist's name is Gambino, so I knew it was triggering something, but there's something related to that. And then from Gambino is getting Frank Sinatra and Don Quixote. Was there something else? There might have been something else. But if that brings up anything for you, please say so in the comments. Some of the headings that came up, they were all kind of random. One was from the Washington Post. 9 members of Congress have lost their jobs over sex in, I guess it was supposed to be, say, 6 months, but it was over improprieties since October. Tommy Two-Tone came up with Jenny, 8675309. All right, so that was YouTube. And then 538 came up, and that's expansion of the Queen of Cups. March 8th, 2019 at 6 a.m. So again, 538, March 8th, 38, 2019, which adds up to 12, which is that wisdom, and then 6 of love. Why aren't Sherrod Brown and Michael Bloomberg running for president, is what it said. Chat, and then from MLB, so different chats were going on. I guess that was political. And then for sports, at 1:01 p.m., the Mets picked a bad year to try to win NL East. And then the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles came up, which is the sovereign and the abandonment issues. And that was from Crystal Clear Reflections. And then the number song 1 through 10 from YouTube, and that was nursery rhymes. Then She's the One, and there was heart drawns, CD initials and AR with another heart, and then in double brackets on each side number 8, and that was from Wattpad, WATTPAD, and then another heading from wiki.org, which is enwikipedia.org, was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I caught a hare alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I let him go again. Okay, so it's separating the beginning cycle and the ending cycle. And then writing numerals given the word name came up from lavc.edu. That was from math. And then the last one was White Cloud, Kansas Chief. White Cloud, Kansas Chief, 1857 to 1872. And that was chroniclingamerica.loc.gov. And the clouds come up again today. It's unbelievable. Just stay tuned. It always amazes me how this unfolds. And I want you to keep in mind, I was not raised religiously, so I have no religious preference. My parents have a Jewish background, but then I found out about 10 years ago that my grandfather wasn't my biological grandfather, and that my biological grandfather is probably who we think he is Russian Orthodox. And I also, spent a lot of time in churches and very much identified with Jesus Christ Superstar and Godspell when I was growing up. So I have, a mishmash of experiences and no allegiance to one specific thing, and limited knowledge about religion, which is good, because then it makes me a good channel that way, because I have no feelings one way or the other. So as we get into the read, it starts out with brain wars, right? The 5 of Swords guy here, 5 of Orbs here in this deck. This is the Syrian Starseed deck. And underneath that was the 7 of Chalices here in this deck, okay? So when you see this card, it's like the Stairway to Heaven. Okay, but so it's showing all this brain wars and confusion and giving up the battle at work, not getting along, and 37, by the way, that number came up as I started the read, or about third party through work or group issue, deception of Queen of Wands reversed, possibly working to force him out, or a Queen of Wands pretending to work or pretending to be fine at work but actually pissed and being deceptive. The conflict and confusion held in his head is now manifesting around him. Holding on to a lie and at war with himself, the divine masculine lover, inspired, while gate is open to shine his light, his dreams, his healing, his love, his outpouring of love, divine love, new love, spreading love through the ripple effect and tributaries, through an emotional release and caring for the ground, the water, loving our planet. All right, so here we go. Through purging and deep suffering, we see the light and love. This is the masculine, awakening, taking that love light to new heights. And I was getting 6 plus 1, while the stars and one big gold star of Christ, which is the sun. Okay, so then that refers back, it's actually the actual yellow sun, but it also refers back to Christ and the sun. So the 6 plus 1 is the love plus the catalyst, and the 6 stars, and then the big central sun, okay, of the Christ consciousness, the one big gold star of Christ the Son. The divine feminine is naked for all to see, a bird in a tree under the sun. The stress and sorrow come at night under the moon, planting seeds of Christ consciousness in the Holy Grail, the divine feminine, to trigger an outpouring of love, which is the offering, the grounding of which is 11:11. So I want to make sure you understand where I'm going here, because it's unbelievable what's coming up here. So Christ consciousness, Christ equals the sun coming up here, which is the divine masculine, right? This is Christ, the Son of God. And then the Holy Grail equals, it's not about the sun and the moon. It's about the sun and the earth, okay? So Christ is the sun, and the Holy Grail comes up as equaling Gaia, the earth, the divine feminine. The moon is the catalyst. All right, so we're going to go on here. So I'm going to say this again. The divine feminine is naked for all to see. Divine feminine is the earth. A bird in a tree under the sun, the Christ, the masculine. The stress and sorrow that comes at night under the moon, planting seeds of Christ consciousness in the Holy Grail. So at night, seeds are planted into the feminine from the masculine energy to trigger an outpouring of love, which then becomes the offering, which is the grounding, of which is 11:11, literally. The Eucharist and Spirit's connecting with me. That Holy Communion is given by ChristoSophia, as above, so below. Okay? So ChristoSophia as Mother, Father are reflecting us as the sun and the earth, and grounding us through the 11:11, the Eucharist. And this expands even more, okay? So Holy Communion is just that above as below, except the way it's seen maybe differently, but this is channeled through me, okay? I'm getting as above, so below is ChristoSophia to the sun and the earth, to the masculine and the feminine, with the moon as the catalyst. So, all right, this goes on to explain. And remember, we started this read as the 37, which is the King of Cups, unconditional love. So I turn the page, it's 909. So, Holy Communion is the ceremony of the seeds planted at night from Christ to Sophia, the sun to the earth, the masculine to the feminine, reflecting Mother, Father, ChristoSophia. The moon is the catalyst, the third party interference, the reflection of the sun to the earth, of the masculine energy, but a clone of sorts, his alter ego. Okay, and so reference the altar, going to the altar at home, at church, whatever it is, and ego, the altar of ego. So then I have alter ego, like the church ceremony, a representation, but not the true clone or reality. Why the divine feminine mourns at night, her divine masculine. The clouds and weathering the storm releases the twins' agony each 28 days. The new moon is clear for the seed to be planted, but by the full moon, the masculine, the sun, is now obscured. The masculine reacts outwardly, and the feminine bleeds out. Okay? So again, when the moon is new, because there's no reflection, there's no false cloning there at the new moon, the seeds can be planted. But then as the moon grows and becomes full, the masculine, or the sun, becomes obscured by the reflection on the moon, which becomes his clone, and the masculine then reacts at the full moon outwardly, right? There's a lot of aggression at the full moon from the masculine energy, and the feminine gets her period. She bleeds out. Wuthering Heights then came up, and Spirit's connecting with me. So then, because Wuthering Heights came up in the weather, yesterday I was getting alto cumulus clouds. And what did I tell you alto cumulus means? It literally means high mass. The alto cumulus clouds collect the residue of the third party interference, the moon, the clone, and transmutes the moon's energy to emotions in order to clear and feed the land and its people. So, and notice that alter ego came up, and alto cumulus, which is high mass, which then relates back to the information that I just got, okay? So, and how much sense does this make? Okay? So if you have questions about what I just said, listen back or ask me below, because it was definitely coming through very clearly. The Chariot. So now we get back into the formal read, okay? So this was just a message from one card that was coming in for me. But there's more stuff coming up, so. All right, so the Chariot is out watching. The warrior minx. As hermit sheds light on the attention of, for the masculine, a payout or scam, or the fallout. In other words, the clouds release. The winter's dark night had its day in the sun. As spring rises, the night goes away. The feminine with new growth, starting her new cycle, nourished by the divine masculine sun. Spring cleaning. As the hermit sheds light, the lighthouse, the earth. Okay, so notice you've been told as the feminine that you are the lighthouse for the masculine. You're his guidance. So here it's referencing that the hermit sheds light on the lighthouse, the earth. So the earth is the feminine energy, or the feminine. She is the lighthouse. She houses his light. Okay? And then this cracked me up even more because I had a miscarriage. And when I miscarried, that child's name, I don't like the name Caesar, but I loved the phonetical name of Caesar's in Italian is Cesare, okay? So I had named my son Cesare, not realizing the phonetical spelling of Caesar, Cesare, is literally She-a-ray, home of the ray, home of the light, lighthouse, okay? So as the hermit sheds light, the lighthouse, or earth, the feminine is the home of the light, the masculine gets back in the saddle again, naturally, to shed his old skin, getting rid of the snake. Okay, when you shed your skin, you get rid of the snake. Snake sheds its skin. Stay optimistic about your love life for the masculine, and below that was let your friends help. Sleeping with the masculine here has been sleeping with the enemy in order to protect himself. In other words, protecting the divine feminine. The harsh truth of cracking the whip while children watch and connect with divine feminine. So here it's coming up that the children connect with the divine feminine naturally, okay, because she's their spiritual mother. Doing the dance, avoidance, doing the dance here that we're always told that we're doing, the avoidance part is actually G plus I, right? Grounding and integrating. The purging cycle. And notice what GI is. It's the poop cycle, right? Grounding and integrating is the process to letting go of the old to get back to the new cycle. So this was very literal because I just started writing GI instead of grounding and integrating. So doing the dance, the union dance, okay? Avoidance is not actually avoidance. It's actually that process of grounding and integrating, which you now realize if you've been on the journey for a while, the purging cycle, the pooping, the clearing for 5D, the sleeping cycle, planting the seeds. The Divine Masculine sees he's being his clone and softens up as soon as he sees his Divine Feminine, the earth, because now he's no longer obscured. The magenta flowers, color never dies. I don't know the name of that flower. I had it last year, and I got it again. I don't know the name of the plant, but it's very rich magenta color, and even when it dies, the flower never dies. It still stays that same rich color all year round. Even if stamped on and fed, so this is relating to the masculine, relating this to the Divine Feminine. The magenta flower's color never dies. Even if stomped on and fed sugar, it still retains its beauty. And then I was getting the forgiveness saying about, you know, the heel and the crushing the flower and the scent. So no matter, so you're seeing how the Divine Feminine, no matter how much she's stepped on, it still retains its beauty. And then doggy style was coming up, down on all fours, represents the back end, the back door, not the portal forward, but the portal back, like backing up over a parking lot entrance spikes. Change to go back, and your tires will be shredded. Avoiding, resisting change, going back, it's all the same. Not present, not connected. However, realize the energy naturally flows in loops. So as we expand, we will also contract a bit to regain momentum and create that friction, right? And push forward again. This is not the same as resisting or going back. It is the natural track. 4 laps for a mile. Rest when you're done. Let others see you dream of what they could be when done with all 4s. Laps. So if there's 4 laps, 4 in leap years, 4 seasons, 40 days and 40 nights, 4 points in a baseball diamond, and home base, which came up the other day, right? About home and base, your heart and your root. Soft and squishy that home base is to stand on. Comfortable middle, right? The soft stomach, like the grass in the center of the track, your squishy center, which is your solar plexus, your sun. So 4 by 3 equals 12. And well, 3 by 3 is 9, and 4 by 3 is 12. Our ending cycles. But 4 by 3 are coming up as mastering cycles, which is 12. And then 4 by 4, which we've been talking about, that 44-8, right? As above, so below. It's the 3D version of 8. That 4 by 4, just like the 4 by 4 truck or car, is bliss. It's 16. It's the tower, where you have full control and no control, all at the same time. You cannot sustain that on this earth plane. You can only take in of it moments at a time, because it's above the 12 cycle. 33, and get this, 33 is suffering. It's the Christ consciousness, sacrifice. 33 is suffering, 44 mastering, 77 is the sovereign, and 68, 3 is 6, 4 is 8. So the 68 equals the Page of Pentacles. It's opportunity to expand. Leave the poop behind. Is that clear enough? And did you notice here too, as I'm writing it down, I'm not even realizing they're showing me 3344, my title, and why it was equating with me and my twin. So 33 and 44 equals 77, but it's also the 6-8 of the opportunity to expand and be sovereign. Leave the poop behind. All right, so then we get into, all right, so the 4s came up for me. So then I got sidetracked, I digress, but then in a good way. I was getting to write down, so what are we calling ChristoSophia? You know, why are we getting all these different titles for God? Why is it Source? Why is it Creator? Why is Divine Director coming up? And you know, everyone's different ways of calling God. So I write down DD, and then I was getting the reflection I always think of as Mary Magdalene, because DD would be the masculine, Mary Magdalene the MM, and they're both 4s because DD is 4/4 and MM is 13/13. So I wrote down 4/4 13/13. So there's something about that that I need to know, but that hasn't come to me yet, but it doesn't matter, because as I wrote it down, I realized this is what they're showing me. Just like I always say, the wounded warrior, Mary Magdalene, you know, Jesus on the crucifixion, and then Mary Magdalene with him is the WW and the MM, how they fit together. But also I was getting the DD, so which is it, the WW or and the MM or the DD? But how does that work? Because DD reflected isn't a letter. And if you notice what that is, if you reflect D, if you reflect D, it's the other half. It's the 2 halves of pi. All right? And if you write DD and then DD backwards, DD, the stem of the D, which is the diameter in each, is 1111. Okay? Which is pi, the circle with the line down the middle. So, all right, so now I got the DD reflection. Can't be any more clearer than that. That D is not D, it's half of the whole, and the reflection of that is the other half of the moon, or the other half of the sun. Okay? So it's pi. It's the masculine and the feminine, the sun and the earth actually, not the moon. But you'd normally see this as a moon. But the moon is the clone, the dark side of the moon, and the light side. It's just the reflection of the masculine and the feminine. So if you write down the wounded warrior and the MM, the WW and the MM, and reflect and put them together, what do you think that becomes? And I'll show you what I wrote down here so you can see it. This is wounded warrior and Mary Magdalene together, okay? Which is like what I was getting, like number 1, it's 4 and 4, because there's literally 4 X's on each side. And what is X? It's 10 in Roman numerals, which is 40 days and 40 nights. Split down the middle, the diameter of pi. But it's also looks like the gates that you put at the top of the stairs for your kids so they don't fall down the stairs. The gate. But there's 2 gates here. One that opens and one that closes. So how amazing is that? All right. And I also, when you saw the X's, you would also see that what I wrote down about the D's with the 11s. And then I got, when I was writing the D's and then I reflected them, the D's going backwards, I right away got, here we come, walking down the street, the craziest, is it Love Song? The craziest, who are they? It's the monkeys, but the craziest whatever you'll ever meet. Hey, hey for the monkeys. Okay, so that was coming up. I have to look up the lyrics for that, but look it up, okay? Because it's saying like, it's telling you the purpose of the monkeys in the Wizard of Oz, okay? Because it's all around the Wizard of Oz. So as we go forward in Spirits Connecting, now see how the 40 days and 40 nights that I just told you was the cycles of the 4s, right? The stability, and we always say the 4 of Wands is union. It's always the 4 and the 4. Let others see you dream and what they could be. when done with all fours, 4 laps, 4 in leap years, 4 seasons, 40 days, 40 nights, 40 points in the baseball diamond and home base with the soft squishy center to stand on. It's comfortable middle line, the diameter, like the grass in the center of the track. 3 by 3 is 9, which is the normal 3D cycle, but 4 by 3 is 12, which is the 4D cycle. And then the 5D, which we can't maintain perpetually here on Earth, is the 4 by 4, the bliss, the 16, the tower of full control and no control all at the same time. We cannot sustain here on Earth. We can only sustain moments at a time above the 12 cycle. And then it went on to the 33 suffering of the Christ energy, 44 of the mastering, and 77 the sovereign, and 68 the opportunity to expand. Okay? Leave the poop behind. Healing comes up as the underlying energy, 66, the Queen of Pentacles. And below that was pride, 19, the sun. The pride of the sun shining like this. And the healing of the Queen of Pentacles, the earth, the moon. She's the earth mother, right? Humble and simple and grounded. The sun and the earth. 2 cups, and Spirit's connecting with me. 2 cups celebrating the Holy Grail. Because remember, earth, the feminine, is the Holy Grail. The masculine is the sun. And then I was looking at the 9 of Cups, and I'm literally seeing now, and this was at 10 o'clock to 10:01. There were little designs on this 10 of Cups. See if I can show you the cup. Let me show you the card, because that was important. And we're still in the underlying energy here. So this is not going to be a short one today, okay? So this is the Knight of Cups. So you see all of these little crosses up top there? So I noticed them today because they're just those crosses from the Wounded Warrior and Mary Magdalene turned on their side. So they're still the crosses. So I wanted to see what messages they were bringing through. And they're crosses to bear, or X's, okay? Times 7. And then it was coming up as 28 as the Wounded Warrior. So there was 4, because we were just dealing with the X's, which is like the energy of 4, and we were just dealing with the 4s. So if you deal with 4 times the 7 that they were showing me at the top, we have the 28, or the 2 of Wands, the Twin Flames, the Wounded Warrior. But there's actually 5 dots in this cross, because there's 1 in the center, the soft middle. 1 to the soft middle is 5 times 7 instead of 4 times 7, being 35, which is Mary Magdalene. So now we have 28 as the masculine and 35 as Mary Magdalene, the Wounded Warrior. So she comes right back as one and the same. 5 plus 4 equals 9. For some reason I was getting to write that down, because now we have the crosses that are either 4 or 5. 4 plus 5 equals 9. And 9 times 7 is 63, because there's 7 of them across. And 63 is the 9 of Swords, the purging cycles. So now we have 28, 35, and 63. The Wounded Warrior, or twin, and then 35 of the Mary Magdalene, or twin, which is the Wounded Warrior, and the 63 of the purging cycles between them. And then it was taking me to, and that was at 10:01. Then it was taking me to the fact that 4 plus 1 adds perspective. So then it was showing me from 0 how the catalyst works. So 0, which is source contained by a human body, plus 1 is the Eucharist, the offering, the grounding of the love and the emotions to the earth, to the feminine. 2 plus 1 is the catalyst, that third party. 4 plus 1 adds perspective to the situation. 6 plus 1 is peace. 8 plus 1 is compassion, 9. And then 10 plus 1 is wisdom. 12 plus 1 is transformation, death, rebirth. It's 13. All right, how do you like that? How that works out. All right, so then a wish comes true, and then it was 10:04, 10:04, good buddy, message received, ground control to Major Tom. Message received. Prisoner is out waiting to come together, but third party is the odd man out. There was a party, drinking and gossiping, green, red, and blue. Chef's kitchen for a girl's party, possibly birthday, happy hour, or wedding, or baby showers. Divine Masculine is putting on his game face, but actually in a prison, with blue eyes all around him, which could just be a lot of kids, or girls, or whatever it is. But also coming up here was Frank Sinatra, Tommy, right, and blue eyes, and the Pleiadians, who reminded me yesterday or the day before that don't forget about us. You know, we're blonde, blue-eyed, you know, Pleiadians. Defenseless to the energies, masculine, and kids and drunks in deceptive energies around scones and sconces. One sconce about to blow or cause a fire or a shock, trying to light candle from Olympic-sized torch. At 10:10, a magnetic bracelet comes up, toe ring or horseshoe, omega. The hand that feeds helps, and the hand that rocks the cradle. And there was a movie about that. The hand that rocks the cradle is shocked. So they either get really shocking news or they literally get shocked, electrocuted wise. And then I was just getting again, hey, hey, for the monkeys. All right, so I'm definitely getting kids' parties as well, which is always haywire there, right? Haywire. So there's definitely there's electrical wire issues in the masculine somewhere. So then we turn the page. It was 10:10, now it's 10:12. It's times oh wait, I'm sorry, I skipped. Right, 10:12. Where am I going? Yes. It's time to fall short. The engine has stopped. The music has died. Dogs and wolves fall, who are walking on water, but the lobsters and crabs are at home in the water, so they're not affected so much. The chain gang comes up here. I don't know why gang came up here, but chain gang did. The chain gang needs greasing. The spokes are rusty. And then I'm getting rusty from shoot. You know, our favorite movies. I'm just blanking out. But you know I'm talking. Chevy Chase and Rusty, his son. That's who I'm getting. So, the chain gang needs greasing. The spokes rusty. And I was just getting the parallel. They're bringing up Rusty. My daughter's in Las Vegas with 6 other girls. Notice that 6 plus 1 and what that was coming up before. So I love how they bring this around to everything else. And Rusty, remember what happened with Rusty at it was Vegas. Yeah, he was gambling, right? And he won all this stuff. From the water leak in the ceiling. So the chain gang needs greasing. The spokes are rusty from the water leaking in the ceiling. With the sun up and the moon out of the way at the new moon, right? Because there's no obstruction when there's a new moon, because it's not seen. Now creeping back up again towards the full moon. Lasers get wet, and or man in the moon globe. Rocky Horror Picture Show. All night girls celebration. Streaming and hands glowing, white and blue orbs. Fairies are visiting. Like clockwork, the claws are out again, and the dogs and wolves are howling. Suspended animation, fountain and laser show. Emotions pouring out everywhere as defenseless to energies coming in and people in attack mode. Waiting, or waxing, I just get like wading in the water, but waxing to the full moon, deception. There is confusion. Imbalance of outpouring of love with this gate wide open, with brain wars and battles ending and giving up and scams and deceptions that are still hidden. The masculine is stay optimistic about 5D world healing. He's working with healing his pride about 66, or the Queen of Pentacles, and his issues with her, or her issues with him, and him still feeling that guilt and shame is definitely coming up, that wound. So recently for the masculine, there's alchemy of sovereign hiding behind the fallout of standing in their truth. And that could be the feminine as well, you know, being her truth, but then again hiding from the fallout of that truth as well. But the masculine as well, being patient and balanced amidst anxiety and deception. The foundation being the reason, the emperor, experiencing a wake-up call to betrayal, death, and back pain around suffering cycles. And then I was getting suffragette city. Protecting his crown, even though he lent a false hand. Centrally, no attention, as not expressing feelings, or there's a delayed exchange with the Queen of Pentacles. Grieving still, foolish behavior, his lack of faith in self, around heartbreak and separation. And clouds, alto cumulus. Poof, mass confusion and frustration. The challenge being for the masculine, stress and crying, offering love to disconnection of clinging to marriage or commitment, yet frustrated and creatively blocked and detoxing Leo, or ego, or what he thought to be strength. Learning to calm the beast, whether that's his karmic or his own inner beast. A message or news or child with burdens of a new life at 10:35, which is 35 is the wounded warrior, Mary Magdalene. Giving too much to children, and then poof, it's taken away in the separation. There are no more options. Too many options only causes confusion through purging cycles, okay? Confessing and or burdens of separation of the Queen of Wands, refusing to wake up to strong-arming tactics, as the Empress has been tying up Atlas's or Adonis's arms, like keeping his hands tied, and hiding a snake friend, a confidant of the Queen of Wands. Third-party friend, or is it a same-sex lover for some? Or a backroom gypsy, or courtesan, or dressing room. Whatever is hidden is the energy that's coming up here. Crowning the divine masculine reed is the world in his right hand, or how he sees his divine feminine. With their negative past, or past now returning in a passionate ride-in to the Queen of Swords, who's not talking to him at home without family that maybe he hadn't known about. It now came to light that she's now out and about, resting and meditating in the 5D and looking back or going back for closure. This could be her or him. The King of Wands is reversed, tired and possibly still angry, in reunion with the Queen of Wands, with no options but new love offered. In a jealous rage, Leo walks out, or that could be his own ego as well, and Cupid judges the divine masculine at a circus, so whether it's figurative or actual. Regarding third party, he left in the shadows, embarrassed to be seen with, yet can't cut the cords and heartstrings pulled no matter how many times he's tried, choosing ego over love, now regretting split decision about messenger of truth, angel, Queen of Pentacles, prisoner. Soon the star, covered in muck, King of Swords, tripped up, clinging to marriage, now divorced or separated, or clinging to alternative lifestyle, but not letting go of the facade and breaking patterns. But now he is letting go and breaking patterns. The devil comes up here, which is just shadow energy, codependencies, addictions, whatever it is, or just a Capricorn. It's not both, right? Not all Capricorns are devils. It's just the card that represents that energies. It's either one or the other. It's either the Capricorn in whatever energy you're getting, or it's representing the shadow energies. So if it's the shadow energies you're dealing with, or a Capricorn divine masculine, feeling guilty and running from the journey, from success and attention that are chasing him, he can't get away from offers and more work and kids wanting something from him. But there's no love here. Now trying to heal his light, but falling back into his anxiety issues. The divine masculine is walking away and or within from 28, which is the twins, +1 or +1/2, as Batman on the beach. The Empress reversed is out of control, feeling rejected, or calling himself a crybaby or a blubbering idiot. I'm calling himself that. Inspired to create a legacy family. Maybe if he has kids, maybe one of the kids is with him and feeling rejected, and another kid is with his family and good. Or any kids are good with his family or his karmic's family, while he's dealing with crying and ego death. The cards that came up from Romance Angels were past life relationship, express your love, separation, right? Time separated from your partners on the horizon, and then make the effort. That great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. Around the divine masculine, or how he is seen, and I'm going to show you the cards up till now. So alchemy was the recent past, okay? Letting go of that. The foundation was the Emperor extending that false hand. The center of the reed being all the attention he's getting that he's running from. All the light being shed on his negative aspects, or wanting more from him. Being challenged by the suffering cycles, the crying, the stress, the purging, the anxiety. Crowning for the masculine is the ascension, how he sees himself or his twin holding the world in their hand. And in the near future is the star shining their light, their galactic light, their Egyptian light, walking like an Egyptian. That might be at the party as well. Okay. So soon as that star covered in muck, the King of Swords tripped up, clinging to marriage, now divorced or separated, or clinging to an alternative lifestyle, but not letting go of the facade and breaking patterns. A devil or Capricorn, guilty and running from journey, from success, and from attention that are chasing him. He can't get away from, and offers for more and more, and kids wanting something from him, but no love here, now trying to heal his light, but falling back into his old ways or his anxieties. Okay, so this is stuff that we already went over. So after the cards and making the effort, that great love is worth taking the effort. Around the divine masculine and how he is seen, okay, is this 8 of chalices, which is, you know, like Batman walking away, or going within, or maybe going to a place where he can think for himself. But around the divine masculine and how he is seen, and it was now 11:01, is 6 to 9 rays shining down upon him, which is also 69, which is the Ace of Pentacles, a new life of perfect contentment and peace. Oh, and before I forget too, because I didn't write this down, when talking about the pie and the D being half and half of the masculine and the feminine, that it was saying also that the half moon cycle is where we need to be, right? Because that's that 0 point, right? So the new moon is no obscuring, and then the full moon is the sun completely reflected and obscured. But the half moon is that 0 point. That's what I was being shown. Unaware at 11:01 now to 11:02, unaware of his own passions, but now with time alone, he's looking at his own worth and how long it will take to completion to find happiness on his own, to get into the circle of trust of the 5D, the divine feminine. Clear blocks for the masculine about passing on downloads or packing them away as options for later or for kids' education. At home, the Queen of Cups, this is still part of what they need to clear, he's getting like his home. He's all like, he's worried about his home and the future and all that kind of stuff. The Queen of Cups reversed. The Page of Pentacles reversed. And even more so, the Page of Swords reversed. So it's about like the karmic and the kids. It's all about them and making sure they're taken care of and the home, but never focusing on him. He needs to get rid of the idea of saving for a rainy day syndrome and live today, thinking that as long as they have a home, but even with that, he needs to see in the present that they're not happy. It's never enough, no matter how much he gives them. Afraid to risk the home, or may have lost a home due to him being afraid to be himself and take an authentic risk to be you, to be him. Let go of manipulators, also karmics using kids to get to you, or others in your other karmics in your family or friends or whoever it is using kids to get to you. Stuck in your emotions of negative self-talk. Let go of all of that. Domestic harmony came up here, as well as karmic completion, as we said in the beginning, but even more so here is all about love partnership. All dried up and dead plants where he is, and a hand mirror to have and to hold, but it's the clone, it's the illusion. Gold cups and iron hearts, but dead plants, while karmic is messing around with the gardener and participating in ritualistic dark dancing and group sex practices, or just the divine masculine thinks all of this in his imagination and feels castrated and now detoxing from all the conflict around him. So not everyone is participating in deviant or different sex practices, okay, but he could be with his karmic, it could have been part of their lifestyle, or now the karmic is doing that, or he's imagining that the karmic and or the twin is doing this. That's coming up as all these different situations, and you'll know which one applies to you. And it's just about the masculine feeling castrated and now detoxing from the karmic and conflicts around them. The King of Cups, Blue Eyes, is destined for happy family with new life angel, Queen of Pentacles, shadow prisoner. His destiny to be free, to free her by freeing himself of insecurities and manipulation, doubting that he can have this new life of unconditional love. Recovering from confessing to start over with lover, or in love, as the King of Pentacles reversed, though, has lost money and status, or at least is ungrounded. Holding on to injustice and trying to see new perspectives of emotional detachments and manipulation of those emotions. Finding satisfaction alone and figuring out how to manipulate himself so he can change his emotions as to not reacting this way and being manipulative, and learning to be alone without affection of the Queen of Swords, who's talking to others while he now listens. The truth shall set you free, and universal law says that all injustices will be balanced and be revealed, and joy will be restored to the land. Brain and spirits connecting with me. Brain wars, stress, anxiety, and confusion about love. I just want to make sure I'm going to the right page. And then as I turned the page, it was 11:21, and at 11:22 I forgot I need to call Jenna. It's her birthday. Not realizing it was probably too early, but I was remembered, so I called, stopped to call. And then as I come back, it's 11:28. All right, so now we're at the Two of Wands and the Twins again. The Emperor, I just said, brain wars, stress, anxiety, confusion about love. The Emperor is using logic to walk away and go within, to find happiness alone, along with patience and balance, with attention to purging and healing and shining his light and passing on his downloads to the world, or to complete a cycle. As the King of Cups, destiny, unconditional love. Being patient with self, the Emperor with attention from world, or for completion of cycle, achievements, endings, closures, amidst all his purging, walking away and within to heal and shine, and find satisfaction, passing on downloads of unconditional love, destined, and divine timing. Okay? All right, so before I forget, because it's getting long, I will pull some cards for you. I'm going to show you the read, and I'll show you the cards that came out. There's a several sets of cards that came out in the shuffle. So I'm going to show you those as well. Alright, so this is the, let me move this a little bit so that light's not shining right there. Why is it still shining? Okay. Alright, so this came out in the shuffle. That one came out in the shuffle. And you see a theme here. That came out in the shuffle. And that came out in the shuffle. Alright, so they're all very similar. And then this is the basic read. Oop, wrong way. And then this is the full read here. Okay. I think that was it. Oh. And I have to show you, remember I told you I found a feather that, a baby feather on the deck yesterday, but I washed it off, so it kind of meshed up and rolled into just like, you know, like a tissue, and it gets rolled up really tight from being twisted. But I want to show it to you. It's half gray and half white. A tiny little feather. And also, yesterday, there were 2 baby pine cones. So I want to show you them too. I'm going to pull some. Oh, I didn't show you the rest of the cards here. Alright. So this is the Nine of Cups, was the card, the environment around the masculine, or how he's seen. You know, the 6 to 9 rays of light. The 69 new life. Okay, and then we have what he the blocks he needed to clear was the 7 of Orbs. And then the outcome card with the card after the read was the King of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune, destiny of unconditional love. Okay. All right. All right. So now we have. Now we have the Ascension deck, clear and align, and the trash. Is it the trash today? I don't think so. Is today Thursday? I can't remember. I think it is still Thursday. The trash is getting picked up today, so that's in line with the message today about the poop. Get rid of it all. Let it go. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything. It has to do with clearing your energy. And for those of you who need a minimalist lifestyle, absolutely. It's saying that you don't all have to get rid of everything you have. It's not the point. But it does feel good to travel light, doesn't it? Just depends on what your personality is and what you want. With you and your twin. Okay. So this Pi Day, March 14, 2019, odes to Einstein. And to Jenna. Happy birthday, Jenna. I love you. You're so beautiful. So this March 14, 2019, for everyone watching and the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And we're asking ChristoSophia today, DD, DD and backwards DD, ChristoSophia. Take a deep breath, you guys. What is it we need to know? What is it we need to learn? ChristoSophia, Divine Director. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? That's it. 2 and 2. Is it 2 and 2? Nope. Serapis Bay is 41 is the bottom, which is the Ace of Cups. And the affirmation is I walk with Serapis Bay, and that's the 4th ray of harmony. And he's known as the Egyptian, and that's like the monkeys walking across the street. Here we come, right? And I was saying walking like an Egyptian came up, and I said that was probably going on at the somebody's party theme as well. But the fourth ray of harmony, walking like an Egyptian, Archangel Metatron, and the Great Pyramid. The white flame, and the only master to work with the seraphim, and they will shower you with blessings as you tune into this ascension card. All right, so the cards that came up from ChristoSophia, and I said Divine Director too, so let's see what comes up here. Well, there's definitely some feminine energy here. So the first two are the Huna Prayer, which is number 8. I'm not going to read that again because I've read that several times in the past week or two. That's number 8, which is that infinity, staying at 0 point, the perfect balance, as above, so below, is the 44. And then Lady Portia is 32. Okay, so 32 is a 5. It's the 6 of Wands. It's the journey card. He's on a journey. And it's about expansion through the feminine energy on the inside and that expressing yourself on the outside. So we have a 5 and an 8, and by the way, 5 and 8 together are considered to be Grease lightning. So there's your Grease movie, John Travolta and Sandy. I never knew it. Oh, he's Danny. That's right, Danny and Sandy. Ah, I saw Dan my brother's name is Dan, so I wasn't sure what they were referencing. But now it's coming up. It's Sandy and Danny from Grease. So we have Lady Portia, and by the way, 32 plus 8 is 40, which is the 40 days and 40 nights, and it's the Page of Cups. And the second two that came up were Lady Nada, which is 45, which is the grieving process, that 5 of Cups, and the Cosmic Heart, which is number 9, which is the wisdom, the compassion, the endings. All right, so it's coming up like, you know, because Lady Nada is the partner of Sananda, Jesus' higher self, of the Cosmic Heart. The wise one, the collective consciousness, the purging to end the cycle, to clear out the past. 45 and 9, it's 45-9, it is a 9. And remember I brought up 4. I was supposed to put down 4 and 5 plus 4 plus 5 equals 9. It's reiterating that was correct. 4 plus 5 is 9. And 32 plus 8 is 40. And then 45 plus 9 is 54, which is the Page of Swords, which came up as significant here today in the read. All right, so these two added up. These two added up are 40 is the Page of Cups. These two added up is 54 is the Page of Swords. Okay, so it's referencing that the twins today, one is cups and one is swords. One with a message and one with a message of love. So, and the feminines right now are usually the ones with a message, right? Could be either way, but you could be getting a message of love as well. The fifth card that came out here is Lord Maitreya, which is 30, which is the 4 of Wands, the union energy. It's also the 3 and the 0. Source energy contained, supporting the 3 of self-expression. Coming together. It's all about being social, number 3. And of course it's the Trinity, and it's the brothers and sisters as well, siblings. I'm just going to read Lord Maitreya. Lord Maitreya is head of the Great White Brotherhood, the beings whose auras radiate the pure white of integrity and high intention. Okay, so we're getting white light again. Drawing this card suggests it's time for you to examine every area of your life carefully and practice purity of thought, word, and deed. You're asked to be an example of right living, for your light will then draw many to the ascension way. Your reward is the peace that passes all understanding and the joy of flowing smoothly on your higher path in life. And the affirmation is, I connect with the Great White Brotherhood and radiate pure white light today. Okay, so that's very clear. But again, you know, there's always a message in the numbers. So we have 5 of expansion, and we have 2 and 2, which is 22 is taking a leap of faith. But it's also the 2 and the 2 of maybe both. We didn't get it like as Lady Portia and Lady Nada. It was representing like Saint Germain as the Hoon of Prayer and Jesus as the cosmic heart. So the prayer is the transmutation, because they're just saying that to, yesterday we were talking about the meditation is the prayer before your meals, you know, to get yourself centered so that everything works in harmony. And so Lady Portia is coming up with Hoon of Prayer because Hoon of Prayer is in place of Saint Germain, and Lady Nada coming up with the cosmic heart in place of Jesus and Sananda. As that he is he is the central sun whose heart always beats for his divine feminine, for the earth, the divine masculine, divine feminine. And they're both ladies, you notice? Lady, I'm getting that too. They're, because it's always the ladies first. Aww. So we have 2, 2, and 1. And I'm getting just now too, it's like the two different kinds of twins. So the transmuters and the lovers. So the warriors and the I'm coming up getting just the 2 groups of twins, and then the union for both is coming up as Lord Maitreya. So the transmuters are coming up as the 40 of the Page of Cups, and the lovers coming up as the Page of Swords. So maybe in one circumstance, people will get messages and others will actually get offers of love. But either way, there's a reaching out here. But it's immature, you know, it's their pages. So it's innocent and sweet, but don't make it like serious, like keep it light. That's why it's saying, because, you know, you're in a vulnerable state. All right, so now we have the past life deck. Let's see what that says. Take another deep breath. Clear and align. And fill with beautiful, organic love and diamond light. The diamond came up again today, too, at the baseball diamond. Clear and align. Clear and align. I was just getting assembly line and conga line. Someone's definitely going to weddings and assembly line, the work. I was getting a ship though, like a cruise ship. I don't know why I'm getting that for assembly line. A multi-ship pileup on high seas. This appears pretty funny. You get it? Pretty funny. Whose joke was that? That was Jesus. Sananda, you said. Alright. One more deep breath. For this March 14th. Hi. Happy birthday, Einstein. Happy birthday, Jenna. For everyone watching, best and highest good, all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? We are posing this to ChristoSophia and Divine Director. What is it we need to know? What is it we need to learn? That's it. The bottom of the deck is Asia. All right, be confident. Don't forget about the squishy middle. What's the candy with the squishy middle? Can't figure it. But there's definitely yellow sunshine here. But be stern when you need to, right? Don't let someone get away with murder, in a sense. Okay? Be loving and kind and true, but also sure and confident in yourself and your own worth. After all of the wars and battles are over. Okay? And that you know that you're no longer alone. So that's the underlying energy. And it's also Oriental energy. I'm getting a Buddhist temple. I'm also getting the Tibetan monks. I'm getting Maharaji. Ma, ha, and Ra, Ji. So anyway, I'm getting the Ma and the Ha and the Ra. Ji is God. Anyway, I have to write it down. It'll come to me. But if something comes to you right away, put it in the comments, please. So we have Asia. And the Oriental Express. Someone's going on a train trip. These are the two cards that came out. Transportation and baby reversed. So again, the baby's been coming up reversed a lot because that's like rebirth. So instead of birth, it's rebirth. Okay, that's very clear today. It wasn't clear like that before. Someone may be literally going on the Orient Express. But we've crossed the bridge and we're changing lanes. It's time. Time to start again. One big bomb. Tick tock, tick tock. Something's off center. Right on the nose. You hit the nail on the head. It's like watch out for Thomas the Tank Engine watching. Those getting also ground control to Major Tom. Right, so Major Tom's up there, they're watching. And also drones. But I'm definitely getting there's a timer here, or a safe place, safe house, safe haven, beach haven, lighthouse. I used to go to Beach Haven when I was little. I don't go there as an adult. We always go to Ocean City. But I grew up going to Beach Haven. And Barnegat Light is known as the end of the island where the lighthouse is. Rebirth of the, I'm getting the choo choo. Aw, my son's nickname is Chew. I hope he's not having a baby. But it could be his rebirth as well, them giving me a message. Chugga chugga choo choo. Oh, and my daughter's chugging. Great. Okay. But there's rebirth here. They're saying don't read into it too much. Sports coming up, and then transport, of course, and I'm getting nation too. Sports, transport, and nation. Is that the Olympics? Transport of the Olympic flames across the bridge, delivered. Message received. Very cool. Right, we're the runners of the torch. Two lanes across the bridge, now wires crossed with the electric fire. Pretty cool. Oh, I like that message today. I like that one. Please comment below. I have half the stuff I won't remember because it's not written down. Take it in now while you can. Okay, clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Sorry they're taking so long, but wow. I'm going to title this again, Wow, 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 because I can't believe the messages I'm getting. Alright, clear and align. Take another deep breath, guys. For Journey of Love, March 14, 2019. For everyone watching and the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? This is to ChristoSophia, Divine Director. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? It? Like a whole bunch of cards right here. Okay. That's Divine Director. Alright. Ethereal Touch 27. Okay, that's the underlying energy. So that's the Ace of Wands, New Passion. Alright. It's my feather. It's my baby feather. Touched by an angel. Aww. It's my feather I just showed you. Like, even like how it's kind of messed up. It's not, you know, it's not perfectly symmetrical. That's kind of how my feather is right now. I love that. Alright, so we got one card, then two cards, then a bunch that I have to count. Towering Magnificent, again, number 30. Alright, can't get more clear than that. Both decks had number 30. And then two other cards came up. The Temple, which is 59. That's the Brain Wars, which was the underlying energy today. That's the anxiety, the stress, the confusion of the masculine. And then Heaven is 70 came up. Okay, 5D. Alright, you've entered heaven. You made it across the bridge. We have 30 and 70, and 5D is the 59 is the Brain Wars. It's the 4D that you had to travel through to get from the 3D to the 5D. Look. Okay, the energies of both. Okay. And the waves come together too. Let's see. And it's giving me like that since 59 is coming up as the 4D bridge, but it's coming up as the temple, it's giving me that the 4D bridge is like your body is your temple. The 4D bridge is the etheric temple, right? It's the containment of the energies, the bridge, that portal. Because it's going to be open for a while, because it takes so long to get from 3D to 5D in its entirety, it must be contained. We're getting a lot of blue. The blues are all about the throat chakra and communication, but the 4D bridge is very murky, right? So there's a lot of confusion there. There's a little bit of rough energy, but you know, like your body, you have to take good care of it, treat it like a temple. And your love, your union is your temple. And you notice also it's 3, 5, 7. All right, so they're each the catalyst for that group. So 2's catalyst is 3, 4's catalyst is 5, and 6's catalyst is 7. It's 3, 5, 7. It's like 3, it's also like saying 3D to the 4D bridge. But then the 4D bridge is coming up as 5, the catalyst to the 6th dimension. And then 7 is the catalyst to push you onward to heaven. So know that, you know, we're raising dimension on Earth, but your abilities as a twin were already 5D and above from the get-go. You guys were always a higher dimensional being, but you're learning to maintain that level more and more and more. But you'll never be able to fully do that in these energies until, you know, all the energies have caught up. And the densities, because we're in the 4D, we're at the very beginning of the 4th density, which will take a long time. I mean, once you're in the 5th and 6th density, you no longer appear in this density on the earth plane. Okay. So the union is towering magnificence, the temple, the bridge, and then to heaven, 5D. And then we have to count these cards to see what the message is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Well, there's 34 cards here, which is the 8 of Wands. It's that heated communication. They're trying to be funny still, because if you add the 3 other cards, it's 37, which is the King of Cups, unconditional love. So it's heated passion with unconditional love. That's what they're telling you. Alright, so I'm only going to read the 1, the Towering Magnificence, which is the union number, 30. You are entering the presence of a truly great and sublime divinity. It is without form, yet exists within all forms. It is humbling and yet asks nothing of you. It just is, and when we encounter it, we are moved beyond words, beyond mind, and into realms of the heart that we may never have experienced before. It takes a brave soul to meet the towering majesty of the divine presence. It can be a terrifying experience as limitations, preconceived notions, and identities crumble in the wake of its light. You're being brought to this place out of love because you are ready. Your soul has been craving connection to something so much larger than itself, to find something worthy to which it can devote itself entirely. This greatness is becoming available to you now to be witnessed to the extent that is helpful, so that you may find the greater purpose of service which your heart craves, and you are ready. This oracle brings you comfort that your inner path, your opening up to direct experience of the divine presence, is happening now. according to divine timing and grace. This is also confirmation that you're connecting with your spiritual guidance more consciously now, and that any sense of self that appears to be falling away from you now is because your divinity has outgrown it, and a new awareness is taking its place. Mighty sentinels connecting heaven and earth, wisdom of the ancients, waiting for those who listen in the quiet. All right, that's very clear. We're just talking about the bridge and connecting 3D to 5D, and you guys running with the torch as the masculine and the feminine across the bridge, and now crossing lanes to each other, right? And to reach out to others then, once you come into union. All right, I showed you the pictures. Make sure you rise and be loved, guys. Be good to yourselves, and rise and be loved.